Good morning. It's the Ambassador on Wednesday, the 28th of October, and emerging markets, like the rest of the globe, suffering under a real change in sentiment. 3 days down gives you the biggest move in 4 months. China actually bucking the trend up 33 bips and relatively quiet. India also down 43, but as you look at South Korea, down 2.4%, and Taiwan down 1.6%. You see the beginning of where we've had some of the higher beta markets start to move. In South Korea, big outflows from the Kospi, or the local exchange, and watching the currency there. Central Europe, Czech, Poland, Hungary, which had been a big trouble spot back in the heat of the crisis, down 1.5% to 3%. Watch those banks; they will be the first to tumble. And in fact, a number of the big banks there down 5 to 10% today. In Russia, down 3.9%, and actually the worst performing market in emerging. It had been the best performing market, but now over the last few days has really given something back. Looking at the MISEX index, it tells you you've got another 5% before there's good support here, and you've essentially chopped off the top of what had been this last rally. If you look at the chart, and that looks to be the first place to reengage. Turkey down 3%. Look at that currency up 70, almost 75 basis points weaker. So a big move in the Turkish lira. And into South Africa, Middle East. South Africa down 1.8%. Currency 1.4% weaker, and concerns that they continue to build dollar reserves, therefore are selling the rand in the open market to keep things weak. In other words, that the central bank is working against you if you're long the rand here. Into Brazil, again, expecting as the market opens here in about an hour to continue to follow the U.S. down. S&Ps in the U.S. Indicating down about 7 points here. A fair amount of data coming out in the United States today, which include durable goods. People will be watching that for the impact on resources. But right now, oil holding reasonably steady, down 35 cents, but has not moved down in line with some of the other stocks. In fact, stocks have really underperformed the underlying commodities this morning, and I think that's what you'll probably continue to see. It's all about the dollar. It's all about stimulus potentially coming out of the market. Dollar right now up 14 ticks on the Dixie at 76.28, but definitely not anywhere near the upper end of the range. And in fact, even towards the end of September, we were up above 77 on the Dixie. So if you look at this on a 30-day chart, markets should not be reacting here in absolute terms on the Dixie, but it's more about the trend here and what's truly happening with central banks around the world, and whether there's actually any real growth behind all the stimulus that seems to be leaving. That's it. I'm the Ambassador.